Are we Gucci? Wait, I need to raise this thing. Something like that. Okay. Is this good? Something like that. Maybe a little loud. Anyways, leave it like that for now. Let's get a link for this thing and get going. Quick little yapperoo. Okay, cool. Okay. Cool. Cool. What the fuck just happened? Man, I don't. This exchange has been fucking up since last night. God fucking damn it. Where's the reset button? I thought maybe it was like a Chrome issue, but then I tried on my laptop on Safari. It's the same shit. So I don't know what they're doing with this thing. The UI is all messed up. And you can't like move around any of the elements. Pissing me off, to be honest. Pissing me off. This is not what we wanted. We'll close that. Okay, that kind of worked, I guess. It's a bit of a hacky workaround, but we'll take it. Okay, we'll get caught up in a second here. Let's check some of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, not really much to talk about, right? Everything kind of going according to plan. We're not, right? Fill the CME gap, bounce it right at the level. Clean these poor lows. Shelter our yellow lines as per usual. Well, we'll say, we'll see how this goes, right? Not like the strongest of bounces. You kind of, ideally, when we talked about it yesterday, right? You wanted to see like a pretty big, some kind of like hammer candle type scenario going on, where we kind of came down and immediately just whipped back in. So yeah, but we are slowly get plugging away, right? If we can reclaim this golden pocket, reclaim this VWAP, start going, would be pretty juice. In terms of where we got off yesterday, yeah, we got a bunch of shorts, which is these things. Let's just go find this. I'll close them all out here because like in case this is a low, but this was the shorts. We got into the Algorand thing. Just toss these on the screen real quick. Got into that thing. Got into this thing for a whiff. We got into this thing for AI16Z. Basically just shorting all the shit coins, right? So we started rolling over, just started shorting all the shit coins. Also got into the Hyperliquid one that we were talking about yesterday, but I got stopped out. This move up kind of stopped me out break even. So that was a bit of a rip on that one. I haven't closed out any of like the head short yet, but if we start to like reclaim these levels, then yeah, we'll like take profit on that because it's starting to look kind of sus, right? One of the arcs we like to talk about. Got a bit of an arc form in here. Starting to look a little suspicious, right? But Shell didn't really take this long though, right? Should be in it still, ideally. If you got a proper entry right at this level. This move shouldn't have stopped you out, even if your stop loss is break even. If you had like a limit order here. Bum, 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 bum. So as per usual, shout out to the math, shout out to the planning, all that good shit. Get rid of this gap now. Let's make sure we mark this thing out. Oh yeah, I also added to the Solana position. Where is that thing? I added back to it. Just toss that thing on the screen. Or did my orders not get tagged? Oh, it didn't get tagged? Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. What a troll. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Damn. that was my order to add back to this thing. We missed it by like how much is that? $0.27 that we missed getting filled on that. That's so annoying. What a troll that is. Boom, 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 boom. That's a feels bad right there, to be honest, to be honest. Olympic, hi, do you use TPO for RTH session? I don't use separate ones, but I flip back and forth. That's so annoying. Fuck, I thought we got filled on that thing. I wasn't even watching it. Like I don't have like multiple TPOs on, but I have. I'll just flip the charts back and forth. If this thing ever loads. The tick size is too small for this right now. But you can have both though, right? Like people definitely do both. Or they'll even have like TPOs for like Asia, London, and New York. I'm actually playing around with weekly TPOs right now. It's pretty interesting stuff when you look at them actually. But I haven't backtested this enough yet to kind of really get a feel. We'll be doing that though. It's kind of like on my to-do list. Because so far it seems like whenever you have like one of these like lower balanced TPOs and it breaks out of it, it seems like it usually ends up running from the eye test. I think there's not too many of those. There's like one here who broke lower. And kind of one here, ended up breaking lower a week later. Broke this one higher. Well, I'll have to test a lot more things than just Bitcoin for this. Also want to try out the monthly ones, but I don't know. It's hard. I'm curious how they develop over time. That's the thing. I want to see like how these interact as they're printing. So it's gonna take a while to like test this out. That Solana thing is such a troll. Fuck. Shout out to Olympic. Nerding out on them RTH, ETH. Also, pretty interesting meeting today in the morning, right? Potential rate cut on the table. And Jerome Powell's a mind still. Didn't count it out. What's the rate cut probability at this point? Hasn't really changed. Hasn't really changed. Oh, boom, boom. Olympic. Trying to think of what I want to do with these orders, because I had like multiple orders. I got all these like fib levels. And if this thing, if we're gonna end up rolling over here, should probably be canceling them. Because there's a world where we end up sweeping this level. Yeah, we'll do it for now and we'll kind of reassess. Unfortunate that happened, but just how the game goes. So the order flow going right now. Not looking particularly strong, right? These bounces aren't looking particularly strong. If we can get back up here though, I'd definitely be feeling a lot more confident, right? We're heading back up. I'll flip the point of control, flip the VWAP, get a bunch above the yesterday's value area low, get above our imaginary yellow line. Doing a lot better. I mean, we're slowly making our way up there, but to make it, I ain't buying it just yet. We'll also consider adding to the Solana position. At that point, we start to like reclaim that level. Hard for me to understand you, not my native language, so I mostly watch records. Yeah, it's pretty hard, I'd imagine. And what's your native language? I think we will go lower still. It's a lot of longs open. Yeah, possibly. There are a lot of longs that like open here, right? Not only that, but there were longs that were like opening like into the move. So like the ones that open here are underwater, and then here like a bunch of them open there. We do also have shorts trapped down here, so not only that, but a lot of the longs have like closed out. So like, they are managing their risk. Also like sure, there may be a lot of longs that got in here that are underwater, or a lot of longs open at the same time, but that's never gonna be like you shouldn't be basing what's gonna happen just on that, right? At the end of the day, like $20 million, $30 million in longs is not that crazy, or like even like 50, 60, 70. Like this thing is seeing like billions of dollars worth of flows. Let's just look at like the last Like we've had over like 5 billion in flows in the past 4 hours. And if S&P is gonna start to like head back up and whatnot, the way it's looking right now, then like you can't be sitting here hoping that like, oh, we're gonna go lower just because $30 million long open down here. If it was a really big amount, like 9 figures, like 100 million worth of longs open here, then yeah, I'd be a bit more suspicious of like definitely rolling over on them. Boom, 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 boom. So a lot has been closed. This gives hope. Yeah, well, not really. It depends what exchange you look at. Let's just look at some of these. Because I was on my laptop earlier, so I need to set everything up here real quick. Put this on that. So on Bybit, like over 60% closed. On the inverse perps contract, on the regular stable coin margin contract, none have closed really. On the Binance inverse perps, most of them have closed. Okay, on most of the Binance contracts, most have closed. And what about OKX? About half of them have closed on the inverse perps there, and then the other half, or I guess half have closed on the non-inverse perps. I was talking about Bybit. Yeah, you have to watch all of them though. Can't just look at Bybit. Like that's just one of many exchanges, right? And Binance has more volume than Bybit. Hyperliquid is almost on par. Like this is a 24-hour volume. So like these two like are relatively equivalent. Binance is much larger. And that's not, we're not even talking about the spot market either, right? Also like the CME futures, gotta keep this in mind. A lot of volume here as well. Boom, boom, boom. And we'll see though, right? At this point, I gotta wait and see. If you can kind of like flip this level and start going, and then get back up here, should be chilling. Because this is like pretty shitty highs. In terms of the short open interest, There's quite a lot to squeeze here, right? So once you start to get up here, people are either gonna start closing their trades in profit, or they're gonna start to get squeezed out. Where can I check CME open interest? On the CME website. I'm curious, I think Velo Data has it too, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. You can also buy the data. Like if you go to like a DX feed, you can buy like the CME data stream, but it is pretty pricey, so I don't know if I would suggest that for most people. But if you go here, actually I'll do it on a different one. Like this is the site. Just like Google see Bitcoin CME open interest, and it'll show you all this stuff. Like there's more below, or there's the tabular data below this. On top of like being able to like look through everything else. But yeah. The thing about certain CME data is you can't really share it online. Like I can't show my DX feed for CME data. Unfortunately. We'll get rid of that box and now. And not looking particularly strong. Not looking particularly strong. Seems to me we're definitely gonna be visiting this zone. One of these two zones. Bum. Bum. 175. Interesting. Just looking through the options order flow right now. Hmm. Boom, boom. Trying to think of where I want to add back to this thing. $145. We'll play it by ear. Well, depends how low this thing ends up going. If it goes lower, if we like bounce here or here, one of these three, we'll probably look to get filled somewhere here. If it starts going lower, we'll have to be a little careful with this. Also depends how much size I'm adding back. Because my entry is down here. So like, I have a lot of room to play with in terms of like adding and still having my entry like be pretty safe. But if I want to add back like a good amount of size, to basically have to treat it like a new trade. How's this thing coming along? That's the other thing about today. Nasdaq has been looking pretty weak, right? Ideally, you want the Nasdaq looking stronger if this thing's gonna like pump for real. If not, just gonna weigh everything down. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, at this point, just give it some time. Just gotta wait around at this point. 30-minute candle close in 20 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. What a move on gold, right? Like, what is this? What is that? Borderline like algorithmic, right? Just straight higher lows in every single candle, basically. Interesting. Interesting sequence of price action that is. Don't see that too often. Boom, boom, boom. Let's give these things some time. Let's nerd out a bit while we wait. Not gonna be around too long either. Getting off in probably like an hour, 2 hours at max. Boom, boom. None of these Bybit shorters have closed yet. Oh, everybody else. That's the other thing. There's not that many like trap shorters down here, aside from like a few on Bybit and a few on Binance. Like, how much is that? Like 50 million aggregated. This thing's doing like one of these. And this thing's like barely making higher highs. It's not looking too strong, right? Ain't looking too strong. If the Nasdaq can start getting above the VWAP and pumping, that would probably help a lot. How's the order flow looking on the Nasdaq? I noticed that when crypto exchanges go to clear their high on the weekend, CME does the same thing later. That's why I lost my perfect shorts. Depends where you shorted. But yeah, a lot of times, like we talk about it, definitely a lot of times you see that, right? Like the weekend highs and lows get swept when like the New York market opens. Like the cash session, as we call it. Not always, but like quite often. But if you got in a shorter period, you should be chilling right now. That's what I got in mind, boy. Boy. Boom, 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 boom. Also depends how the charts look, right? Like comparatively to one another. Cause like there's certain sequence of price action that don't exist on CME. So it's like one thing to like sweep some high on the weekend on just like derivatives that exist on CME versus sweeping a high on derivatives that doesn't exist on CME. And that will also impact it. This second pump was when CME opened. I was already asleep. Oh, this one? Yeah. Yeah, this was like pretty late in the evening that day. But it's not only that, like you have to wait for this. Like if you took this, like we had talked about this short in like one of the earlier juice boxes during the week. And the kind of like this yellow level and like the VWAP. But like you should not have had limits set here. Because this was literally almost, like we almost broke through the zone, right? Like there was like 3,000 Bitcoin worth of like sell walls up here. And we got down to 1,000. So if that order flow had continued for another like 30 minutes, like we were bursting through the zone. So like you have to be very patient with this. You have to kind of like wait to see what happened, and then once we lost like the level, and also like the value area high from the day before was like right here. So you have to like wait till this was actually like lost to like give you like actual confirmation. Because if you try to like just go in this blind, it's really risky. You're risking getting ran over. You have to wait even longer, right? You would have been waiting to like here realistically. This is like midnight Eastern time at that point. Okay, okay. Interesting. Does it do one for every order? That'd be really annoying. You can put a chime on the Nasdaq order flow, but there's orders like once every 2 seconds. Don't know why anyone would want that. So you're waiting for the failed auction. I put blind limits. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of putting blind limits. Pretty rare I do that. Like, it has to be like a pretty like obvious like, higher time frame type of move, and even then it's like I don't know. I just don't like it. Too risky because like you're so much context is missing from the like that can be happening in the moment that it's just like I'd rather just be there looking at it, just waiting for the failed auction. Yeah, because like when this happens, like a lot of times you'll see it. People will go into the order book and they'll market smash like 400 or 500 Bitcoins. So we were literally 2 market orders away from blasting through the zone. So like yeah, there's no shot I was just gonna set limits here when that can happen at any moment. I'd rather like kind of like confirm that like okay, bullish order flow is like really died down here and it's not coming back. We're starting to like lose levels of interest. I was waiting at the time the TPO was looking like this. Like the value area low for the TPO was like right here. Then we had like yesterday's the day PD value area low was like right there. So to me it was like if we start spending time below this area, then we should be chilling. Cause my entry on the short's not amazing. I got in at like 18083. So I got in like around here. But I'd much rather do that than like risk trying to get like a pixel perfect top short and getting wrecked. And I could have done that like if I wanted to as well. Cause at the end of the day, like if I did get run over on the short, I do have a long going, so I would have like made that money back on the long. But it just seems like a bit needless of risk to me. Especially knowing how big of a squeeze is pending up here. They just each to their own, right? Everybody has their own like kind of risk appetite. Also depends on like how you want to like, size your position. If you wanted to take like a small gamble there with like a limit, like a blind limit, then like whatever, I suppose. Definitely wouldn't have been opening like a full size position like that. Where did I put my stop loss? I don't remember now. Pretty sure I had it like at this high. But like now, like right now, it's like break even. But pretty sure originally it was like up here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. See, the other thing is that the volume on this, like, kind of balance is like not particularly strong either. How's it over here? Yeah, same story everywhere. I mean, the stop loss though is also kind of like a preference thing. Like some people might leave it at like at the actual high. It's like pretty subjective. Some people don't even use structure. They'll like put their stop loss based on some like low time frame, like SMA band. Or they'll use the ATR. So what was the VWAP looking like that day? People like do it behind the VWAP as well. Could have had like behind the VWAP. Lots of ways to play the game. Boom, boom. If you open up a hedge short the same size as your long, depends. Depends like how far away like the stop loss invalidation is. Depends like how much of it you're trying to hedge. Cause like you don't always have to hedge it like 1-to-1. Like sometimes you just want to minimize how much you're round tripping. Boom. But like in this case, like, yeah, like they're like equivalent. Cause I like the long has been running for a while, and I have like a lot of unrealized gains still on that thing. So to not want to be in a world where I just like round trip the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but like the current unrealized portion. But to be honest, though, I don't know if I'm like a big fan of it. Like, I've been playing around like with different kind of ways of like managing trades like this when this happens. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of like opening a short here and just leaving it to like. Okay, like let's say we go back up, and I just let the short get stopped out, break even. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that, to be honest. Because you're giving up a lot of gains. Like, look, let's say I just TP'd most of my short here. then that is the equivalent of me locking in the gains that I didn't realize on the long. And then if we go back higher, well then I'm making money again, right? Instead of being like neutral when we get back up here. And if we do start to head lower, then I can just open like another hedge position from here. So definitely giving thought to how I do this. I'm not sure like what the ideal way is to do this exactly. Yeah. It's nice to get paid in the short though, right? Because you're getting paid non-stop while you do have it open. So the money just kind of slowly adds up. And like if you aren't in any kind of like long position, like you can be like a bit more like kind of increase your risk-taking appetite. So like any long that doesn't work out is gonna get paid for by the short, especially if like the size is like disproportionate. If I have a big ass short and I'm taking like small long attempts, then it's gonna be like a net positive as you continue going lower. Lots of ways to look at it though, right? Lots of different ways to look at this. No like right or wrong per se. But like another factor for me was like I had surgery like last week. So like, I knew I was not gonna be just sitting at the charts like non-stop, like 16 hours a day. I needed to like rest and whatnot. So I have like a lot more peace of mind doing what I'm currently doing. Yeah, I think if we start coming back up here though, definitely gonna take profit on the short. Assuming like things are looking bullish, there's no like, kind of like huge bearish edge appearing. Also, did they announce if this micro strategy, strategy. When do we do this? Interesting. Shout out to the math? What the hell? When the hell did we do this? Must have been a while ago, right before we broke down. That is funny. That is funny. Yeah, also. You wanna have 8? Really? What plan do I need? I need the highest plan. Let's make 2 of them, boy. Or we'll just keep this, who cares? XLC, XLV. Is correct. So FXLY, XLC. Okay. Have you heard / used stacked imbalances in your strategy? Are you talking about like imbalances in the bid ask and like the candles? Or do you just mean like imbalances as in like like a single print next to like a poor high, or kind of like that kind of like different kinds of imbalances in proximity to one another. But the answer to that question is yes to both. So okay, cool, interesting. Wow, this one is new or something. We're gonna use this to kind of start tracking like, what sectors money are flowing in and out of, or if they're all like flowing out just in like equal proportion. We got a new chart to keep track of things. Nerd out a little more. Difference in buy and sell orders. Yeah, like EXO charts kind of shows them. That has like an option that automatically highlights them based on whatever you set the filter parameter to. So yeah, look at it on my laptop. Although I wouldn't like, don't give it like a particularly high weighting. I do make note of it though, especially there's like a lot of them in like like a proximity. Look at all kinds of things, and everything kind of like sways it one way or another. Like you start off with like a 50% guess of like up or down. And depending on like every piece of information, you start to like sway like one way up. You might think it's going up. You're like 60% bullish, 70%. Oh, I see a bunch of imbalances up here. Maybe I'll lower it a little bit. Kind of just go back and forth on the scale. Yeah, ExoCharts is pretty good for that stuff. In TradingView, you can't do anything like that. Maybe there's like a custom indicator. Boom, 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 boom. Guess not. But yeah, it has that. It has like the same way that the TPO has naked point of controls, the candles have these as well. So on ExoCharts, you can like see like, oh, is there like a 4-hour naked point of control? Is there like a daily naked point of control, etc. I used it on ATAS. I see. Yeah, I've never used it at ATAS. I'm familiar with it though. Like whenever people ask about like the TPO, because you can use the TPO for free, right? On ATAS, from what as far as I'm aware. So I usually suggest it to people. Never used it personally though. Looks like we're finally rolling over here. Boom, 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 boom. Like we're finally rolling over. Boom, boom. Soon ATAS will not be free for cryptocurrency like it is now. Oh really? That's pretty shitty. To allow like 2 indicators for free. I mean, as long as you can use a TPO, it's all that really matters. TPO and like the volume profile, I guess. Like, if you use those two on there, or even just the TPO, then you can use like the free version of TradingView for something else. And then they don't really need that many indicators. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, let's keep our eyes peeled on this open interest as we start heading lower. Eyes peeled. Need to keep this Solana thing in mind. Also, a world where we add back to the ETH position. The thing is, we haven't TP'd as much on this, so I'm not as... Definitely not a priority. My entry's like so far back, it's like whatever. Whatever. Hopefully this happens soon. Hopefully this happens soon. I'm going out later, so I'm not gonna be around if this happens in the afternoon, like late afternoon slash evening. And I'm getting very suspicious at this level. I don't know if this is gonna hold. Like, they think I got kind of like a swing fail here. I mean, possibly, but wouldn't be surprised at all if we like blow through down to this zone. I'm seeing a little too many people talking about this thing on social media. A little too many for my liking. Same kind of thing that happened on ETH. Everybody was talking about this sweep. You thought. You thought. You thought. Came right down to our imaginary box. Yeah, hopefully we get this pretty soon. Cause I got into the long originally down here, but then we shaved like a good amount here and then added back. So our average entry is like in this region. So we're gonna have to like make sure we realize the short slash close this thing without going in the red, and then get back in. I deleted it. I'm not doing this on my phone while I'm out. I think I'm gonna snack on before this starts nuking. We back. Got some food. How's the order book looking down here? I'm not looking too hot. 105. Interesting. Also, a world where the zone gets front run. If a lot of longs like close out on this move down that were open, and shorts get trapped down here, like opening into the zone, might front run this to be honest. To be honest. And Hyperliquid has done me so dirty this week. Got filled 1% on our long on the breakout. When we added to it, we got stopped out pixel perfect. And then we get stopped out on the short, pixel perfect. Now it's just rolling over. Cruel, that is just cruel. Should just get rid of this. I don't really care about this thing anymore. Slowly but surely walking to the edge of the cliff. Slowly but surely. Fuck! Fuck! Let's not get too distracted. We really want to be just focusing on Solana more than anything. I'm sure we're gonna miss some of these long opportunities as usual. Can't get into like 20 different longs at once, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Don't call me Shirley. What does that mean? Harris Kamal, good morning. Happy Canada's Day. Didn't expect an early stream today. Yeah, because I'm going out later, so figured might as well hop on for a bit. See what's going on here. Kind of bounced at our first red box as expected. Not looking too hot though. Order flow's not been looking too hot this whole time. I'm not gonna say definitively, but almost certain we're rolling over lower. I highly doubt that holds. Hopefully we catch it soon though. Because I want to add to the Solana long. Add back to the long in this thing. Question is, how low are we going over here? Also, not gonna be around for too much longer. Planning to get off at like 3, maybe 3:30. Because I need to go to the gym before I go out later so I can like get ready and whatnot. I was hoping this would happen sooner. Fuck. Fuck. Always works like that, I swear. This game is like... always works out this way. Wait around all day, as soon as you get off your computer, boom, volatility hits. Boom, 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 boom. A Dubai Bybit crypto trading tournament? Interesting. What is this? These guys are all like 1 minute scalpers. Interesting. I suppose it makes sense if you're at like a daytime tournament, don't have like all day just sit around in trades. I could never trade like this. I don't get it. These people are all doing the same thing. Literally, they're all scalping the 1 minute time frame with like moving average ribbon and like a MACD or like some kind of oscillator. And how is that possible? None of them are using any order flow tools, and they're all trading on the 1 minute. Oh my god. Oh man. Ugh. Okay, I had enough of this. Can't watch this anymore. Get me out of here. I'll put an alarm down here in case you get distracted. And it is crazy what's happening in the UK. Wealth is fleeing the nation. Omen of things to come here if they try and do the same shit. Can this shit hurry up? Goddamn. Goddamn. All the longs just got closed over here. Everybody that longed this just got stopped out. Interesting. Boom, 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 boom. Still think we're rolling over though. Still think we're going lower. We'll leave on the options order flow for now. That's starting to look pretty bearish too. God damn, god damn, god damn. Boom, 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 boom. Fuck. Fuck, we gotta go soon. Fuck. Fuck. You fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Rice is about to break the low. Can you fucking not? Fuck. Fuck. What kind of a sick joke is that? Let me look at the Solana data so I have it in my head before I leave. So at least I can picture what's happening in that regard. See where everyone's positioned. Not too worried about this Bitcoin thing. Okay. Interesting. 129. That'd have to be quite the nuke. Actually, 140 and 129. Those are the two sweet spots where most people are going to get got, assuming they're managing their risk. How are the CBDs looking on this? And how will they be looking when we get down there? Hmm. Definitely a mix of like hidden and regular bull divs in the higher time frame, depending on the contract type. But it's gonna be hard to know if we start to print like regular ones in the low time frame without seeing some of this order flow. Or we'll keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. I'll have to just kind of be nerding on my phone a little bit hardcore. Okay, so quick juice box, and I gotta get out of here. Fuck, 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 fuck. You know, not really much of a juice box, right? Not really much of a juice box at this point. Nothing's really changed from last night. Potential longs. Basically refer to the past week, basically, right? Well, I'll do a quick recap, like a spoken recap in a second, and a short, hard to say. If we start to head down here, and like a bunch of shorts open and get trapped, and none of these people are taking profit on their shorts, and then we see like an overwhelming amount of demand step in here, and we rubber band back up, and this is all primed to just get like immediately squeezed right back. So I'd definitely be looking for shorts on these pullbacks, like maybe they come back to like clean this. Maybe come back to like the VWAP and like make a point of control. Well, not make a point of control, but like today's point of control. Like this kind of thing. But be careful though, definitely be careful, like be mindful of this like rubber band type effect happening. Like a pullback to like 106.5 slash like daily VWAP slash a PD value or low, etc. I might even do kind of like a bounce here first, then come to like the golden pocket, and then go lower. So a bit of like an 886 bounce. Yeah, we'll leave like that. I don't got too much time here, unfortunately. And in terms of the longs that we're talking about, let's open interest look in. A lot of longs are starting to close on this move. Not a whole lot of shorts jumping in just yet though. Like there are some on Bybit. And a little bit on Binance, but like you just want to see a little bit more than this. Plus what the index is doing. Yeah, my advice would be look at the order flow for like the indexes, see what's happening in the like last hour. People start like changing their positions, whether they're closing out for the day or opening something before the day ends. I'm watching the open interest on Biddy. Like do more longs that close out as shorts are opening down here or not? Or not? Because we do have like some CBD like divs forming, and they have been forming for a while, but also a world where we just start to like really nuke and they all get validated. So it's really gonna depend on what people are doing with their money when we get down to these zones. So yeah, be mindful of like a potential bounce here, and if we do get that bounce, be potential just reversing right here again at the VWAP kind of thing, golden pocket, blah blah blah. Not like watch for this zone, right? The whole like sweep of this level, all the liquidities here, cleanest single print, like kind of bounce there potentially. And like the levels we've been discussing like downwards, right? Yeah, I'm out here. Do a quick chat shout out. Shout out to Olympic and shout out to Harris. Yeah, probably back tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna stream tonight again. Like I was thinking, considering maybe if I didn't stream during the day today to get back on like late at night. Maybe I will. It kind of depends what the chart's looking like actually. If we come back and we still haven't like cleaned this stuff and we're starting to head lower during like the Asian session, then yeah, maybe I'll be back on. If not, we'll be back tomorrow, kind of usual, back to the usual time. Today's a holiday in Canada, so we are switching it up a little bit. So yeah, shout out to Olympic. Good luck with the trades. Hope everyone's, you know, looking at the data, managing their risk, plan and prepared. Yeah, we'll reconnect again soon, but unfortunately I gotta go. Fuck. Later.